Welcome to the CEO Crowd, designed for the female entrepreneur who doesn't follow the norm. Maybe you've been called or you felt a little bit different, or maybe you have a different idea of success than what you see is aesthetically pleasing on social media. And most importantly, you know that you're here to make an impact while living the life that you actually want, whether that is jet setting across the world, spending time at home with your family, relaxing, or a mix of both. You can have whatever you want. And if you believe in that, and you're ready to be motivated, informed, and entertained, I'm your host, Rebecca Nesbitt. You're in the right place. And today we're talking all about 3 things that you need to know about finding consistent work. So, how do you find consistent work? First of all, I get this question a lot, especially right now. We're doing a lot of market research to make our membership as great as it can be. We're really excited about the CEO Crowd membership. The link's in the description if you want to check it out. And we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot to change it, to make it more valuable. And with that comes a lot of market research, a lot of eyes on what we're doing, and speaking to a lot of women to see what is it that is holding them back in business. And something that's coming up a lot is how to find consistent work. And I think that first of all, we have to clear up, what does consistent work mean? Does consistent work mean you always have X amount of calls per week? Or does consistent work look like you have this amount of money in the bank? Typically, the latter is true. Like this, people don't really care so much about the amount of work they have to do a week. They want to know that they're going to get a certain amount of money out of it. And I know that that seems like maybe a little bit like cold, but some of business, it's okay that it's a little bit cold. It's okay when it's hard numbers and hard facts, because I think that that gives you reality. And I like to live in reality. I think it's pretty cool, actually. I think that we're very blessed with the reality that we have. So if you're thinking about consistent work, the way that we're going to talk about it in context today is that we're going to talk about how to have consistent sales. And I think that the first thing that we have to consider is your business model. When it comes to this idea of consistent work, consistent sales, consistent money, consistent finances, you have to consider what is the business model that's getting you there, because that really highly attributes to how much money you have in the bank. So, for example, if you have a really high ticket service, whether that is one-to-one coaching, a high ticket mastermind, so group coaching, or you have done for you services, if you're service industry based, then the likelihood is that you're going to need less clients to make more money, but you potentially need to give up more time to those one-to-one clients. So there's always like a little bit of a trade-off in whatever model you choose. So no model is bad or wrong. It's just a personal choice. So if you're looking to create consistent work, you have to think, how many clients do I then need at this level that feels like the consistent amount of income that I want? And we're going to get deeper into this, but I also want to highlight the idea of having a different business model, for example, a recurring revenue model, which is what we have with the CEO Crowd, which we're constantly iterating and trying to make better and better and better so that we can continue to bring women into our membership. And that's on a recurring basis, which means they pay every single month. High ticket can sometimes pay all in one go, and that's typically how high ticket goes. They try and get you to get it all in one go because usually your clients get a better deal, but you also get a whole bunch of money at the one time, which just feels really good. The ego freaking loves high ticket. My ego loves high ticket. I'm not gonna lie. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's okay to say that my ego loves getting a lot of money in the door. Like, it's okay to say that. I'm not upset by it. If you are, I invite you to change your perception. There's nothing wrong with knowing that when X amount comes in, you have X amount for your family. You can do X things in your business. It's a gift. But my ego, goddamn, she loves high ticket. So if you're in the high ticket space, then it can typically come with really big wins, but it can also come with really pretty deep pitfalls. Whereas if you're looking at a recurring revenue model, the great thing is that money you can pretty much count on every month. And the likelihood is that everyone's not going to leave your membership at one time, you know? So that's why that's a really interesting business model to look at. The other business model I see a lot as well is kind of this one-off offer. So whether it's a one-off offer or it's a e-product, an e-book, a short course, and it's your first product and you don't have anything else and you want to learn to sell that really, really well, consistent work is going to look different, because when it comes to high ticket, you also have renewals. When it comes to recurring revenue, you'll have renewals. When it comes to a one-off standalone product, not so much renewals. So what I would say is always solve the next problem for your customer, for your client. That is how you can make that model, which is one-off products, work really well. So first of all, we have to understand what consistency is for you so that you can work out the rest. So the second thing that you need to consider about finding consistent work is that you have to learn what converts for you in terms of your lead generation system. Now, there are so many lead generation systems, and we just had our lead gen live. It was our whole network event, our first whole network event. So blessed and so excited. But what I will say is I'm going to talk slightly differently about it today, because I think there are three things that people do right now that I see a lot in the space, and from the market research I've heard a lot about. And I want to break it down for you so you understand how you can maybe do that a little bit better and how you can hone in on doing the one thing that works and converts. So the first thing that I see, and this is very much at the beginning, is post and pray. You're posting something. Who knows what it's about? Maybe it's about your dinner, but you're praying and you're hoping and you're wanting someone to reach out and say, I want to give you a lot of money, or I want to buy your product right now because I saw this post and I thought it was amazing. And you're just like hoping and wishing that that will happen. And you may have the best product on the back end. You may, but you're hoping that that person will just step forward. And this is the one that I think takes people out the game the most, because this is when I found this a lot in network marketing. It was like, post X amount of times a day, and people that have come to me after I left network marketing, that have been in network marketing, have come to me and they find resonance in that, because obviously we've been through the same journey. They're like, they're telling me to post like 3 to 6 times a day, and I'm like, no one's buying your product because you're posting a bee like emoji and saying good morning. Like, no one's buying because they're not like, oh, you're open for business, you're awake. People, if they want something, they'll just message you whatever time of night it is. They don't care. Like, they care about themselves, and if they want a product, they will tell you about it, not because you said I'm open for the day. That doesn't work. So there's a lot of this like post and pray mentality of like, you're just hoping someone will buy from your content. And that doesn't necessarily breed that know, like, and trust factor that a lot of entrepreneurs talk about. It doesn't necessarily help that. Usually it just puts a lot of pressure on you to put out a lot of content, and that can be really overwhelming and take people out of the game. So if you would like to switch that, this is what I offer to you, is the next strategy that works really well is post and connect. So when you're posting something, are you connecting with people that have liked it, that have loved it, that have commented on it, that have mentioned it in passing when you were at the gym class with them and they were like, oh, I saw your post. Are you having conversations? Because conversations are what equal conversions. So I would say if you're in that kind of post and pray, I'm just posting and hoping. And a lot of the time, people that post and pray like really focus in on the numbers as well. It becomes almost like a vanity metric. And I mean, we've already spoken about ego and how she loves to be in the house. But this is something that can really, I don't want to say the word destroy because it feels really dramatic, but I'm going to say it. It can really destroy your self-confidence, because you're like, only 4 people have liked it. And last week, 10 people liked it. And as you do things more and more often, then you'll notice that there's such wide varieties of engagement. It is a roller coaster of engagement. It's up, it's down. And this is why post and connect works really well, because you're starting to connect with those people, but also it can work on the flip reverse too, because what if people aren't engaging? Then you have an engagement problem and you think you're the problem, and very rarely are you. It can be that Instagram, the algorithm, or Facebook isn't pushing you out as much to people because they're now like, she posts regular content 3 days a week. This is regular. Okay, we post it, we push it out at this times, or this content's doing really well. She used trending audio. Like, these things all help. But the third way that personally works for me and that I taught at Lead Gen Live was is actively seeking people that need support and help. Because if you have a business, it's because it solves a problem. Every business exists to solve a problem. So if you want to solve a problem, go out and solve it for people that are asking for help. This is why Facebook groups, absolute goldmine, I believe, in total goldmine for your business. Facebook groups is that you can literally directly source people and support them, whether it's with free materials at first and then paid opportunities, or it goes directly into paid opportunities, depending on how much conversation you have, how much know, like, and trust is built up, and also what numbers you're at, and we'll talk about that in a minute, will determine how those conversations go. So, actively seeking is one of my favorite ways to source clients because I feel like it's very much in my control. And the reason I feel like it's in my control, and this is the third thing you need to know about finding consistent work, is because I understand my numbers. So if you don't know your numbers yet, then I always say start with a 10-to-1 ratio. So a 10-to-1 ratio came out of a sales statistic I heard at the very beginning of my journey. And I don't know who originally said it. It's all across social media. So this is not unique to me, but it says that for every 10 sales calls, you will close one. So to me, I think, cool, if I want to close one, I need 10 sales calls or 10 in depth interventions, like 10 engaged people on a webinar or at an event. And then underneath that, you've got maybe 100 people that you invite that actually responded to you. And then underneath that, you've got 1,000 people that you maybe invited and you didn't hear anything from 900 of them. So I see it like a pyramid of like 1, 10, 100, 1,000. And if doing 1,000 reach outs to get one client, especially if it's high ticket, like if it's low ticket, I kind of understand. But if it's high ticket, if that throws you off, bro, business is not going to be a walk in the park for you. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it, and I'm saying it with a lot of love. So you need to understand where you're at in terms of your numbers. And the easiest way to do this is start a spreadsheet with the people that you're talking to and engaging with, and what you've sent them. If you've sent them any further information, keep some notes. That'll be really useful. And I would definitely say keep a date of when the last time you contacted them was, because once you get to a point of generating a lot of leads, then people can start to slip off. So you want to know when you last contacted them, because you don't want people to go a long time without seeing your face or your name or connecting with you. So those are the three things to really understand about consistent work. And I think that one like unsung hero bonus point, if I could give you one, would be to do great work. Because once you do get the clients in the door, then if you're a service-based provider, support people, do your best with that. That's where they'll renew. That's where they'll buy your other products. That's where they will trust you even more. And if you're a product-based business, solve the next problem. Solve the next problem that person has. So just like when I said at the beginning, if you have a one and done standalone product, if you solve the next problem with the next product, then you're going to really help those people that have already bought from you. And second money is always easier than first money. So I hope that was all useful. Those are some musings on how to create consistent sales work that I don't know that a lot of people are necessarily talking about. A lot of the time they talk about, you need to know, I mean, we did do this, you need to know your numbers, but not in context of how many reach outs you need to do. It's usually in terms of how many clients you need. We were at a coaching event, myself and my husband, and it was really interesting because the person at the front was saying, this is how you make your first 100K year. And it was like, you need X one-to-one clients, you need X clients in a group program, you need X clients in a membership. And here you go, like, this is your whole system. And my husband looked at me and he was like, babe, this is like really easy. And I was like, oh, that is really easy. But they're not telling you what it takes to generate that. And that's the problem. So when it comes to this, it's not necessarily the easiest thing. And I don't think enough people are saying, like, sometimes your business isn't going to be easy. Sometimes you're going to have to do things that you're not necessarily excited by every single day. But when you do get those big wins that the ego loves, or when you even get that first sale, it just feels so good because you're like, I've worked for this, I did this work, and someone values it enough to have purchased my services or my products. It's such a gift. So I think that not enough people are talking about consistent work in this context of there's going to be a little bit of hustle. You don't need your life to become hustle. There's a way to do it that's really elegant. But the things that you need to know is, what's your business model? So you do know those kind of higher level numbers. You then need to know, what are you actually doing that is getting these people through your door? And to be at the point where they would want to purchase your services. And the third thing is to really understand your numbers in terms of using that 10-to-1 to start. And then you'll notice that I, at one point, I was converting a high ticket sale every 54 I think it was 51. It got down to 51 actions I was taking in my business. You can do that in like a day if you really wanted to. It's amazing. So that's what I would say about finding consistent work. I think it's there for you. I think that there is enough of the pie for everyone and that you can absolutely do this if you needed to hear that today. If you are looking to be in a room of people that also believe the same and that are going for it and that are trying really hard in their businesses and that want to collaborate and connect and ask questions like this in a really safe environment, then I invite you to come along to our CEO crowd events. We'd love to have you at the next one. The link will be in the description. I'm praying already for you. Like, this is not my post and pray, but I'm praying for you that we're not booked out. We book out really far in advance. So I'd love to see you there. So until next week, until next Tuesday, myself, Rebecca Nesbitt, and the CEO crowd, our whole network, will be over here believing in you. And we'll see you next week.